Welcome back to your coffee break on HANradio.com. John Kovach, Kate Chaplinsky, my co-anchor, stepping out for a second. Donald Eng on the controls. I am joined right now by John Shuck, co-founder and president of the Fairfield County Concours Elegance, Frank Taylor, who is the director of Sunday's event that combines two of my favorite things, the Concours de Caffeine. Caffeine, Don, and cars.
What's not to like?
Absolutely. So, guys, tell us about this car show that will be taking place right by the main train station in Westport.
Well, basically, it's we have several featured cars that we're going to have along the main roadway there. We're featuring cars of Connecticut, cars that were built in Connecticut or raced by people who live in Connecticut. And then also spectators will be bringing their special interest cars and sports cars to a special parking area that we have close to there.
And this is right off, Frank, right off exit 17.
It is right off exit 17 at the Saugatuck train station. We're actually going to block off Railroad Place in front of the train station and allow the cars to our show cars to park along there, and that's where people will be walking back and forth.
So that's going to be a great visual because it sounds like you're going to be the tracks are elevated there.
Right.
And the cars will be kind of under the tracks along that strip right there.
Yes, they will, right in front of the restaurants. A great place for people to walk by and look at the cars, stop in one of the restaurants for a cup of coffee, and enjoy the day.
I've seen some of the cars that are in the show, and as you said, Connecticut, a theme for it. And it really spans all ages. We've got true antiquities to some really modern stuff to one raced by Paul Newman.
Right. We've got one of the earliest cars manufactured in Connecticut, a 1904 Pope Hartford, which was actually built in 1903 but sold in 1904, all the way up to Callaway Z51 2015 Corvette.
2015. Nice.
Right.
I had totally forgotten, and Don, you probably remember, so you'll probably make me look bad on this. I had totally forgotten that Paul Newman raced Camaros at one point. You always think of him in the Datsun and the Nissan, and I never think of him in the Camaro.
Number 77.
That's one of the last cars he raced. He raced at Sebring and a lot of the other tracks in the area.
The other famous racer from Connecticut we have represented is John Fitch.
Yes.
Who designed the sprint cars on top of the old Corvair body. He built one called the Phoenix, which was a customized body design, and he did two others that we have coming, the 1962 and a 1968 Sprint.
Very cool stuff. Really looking forward to this. How many cars do you anticipate?
We have 13 cars in our exhibit from the 1904 Pope through the Corvette, including a 1915 Trumbull, 1909 Locomobile, both from Bridgeport, and we anticipate there will probably be in the neighborhood of 200 to 300 car owners who will bring their cars to show them off.
Oh, that's going to be big.
We hope it is.
Right.
And what are the times?
Starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, goes to 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday the 17th.
You're seeing some of the cars there. There's the Newman
Nissan.
Racing Camaro. Just such an awesome sight.
And
Just
the other
love-
one that will pop up shortly, I hope, is the, there it is, one of the cabriolets, that's the sedan, Briggs Cunningham C3 sedan that he manufactured enough so it would qualify as a production car to race at Sebring.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And
There's
there's
the
the
Hartford.
antiquity right there.
Pope Hartford, yeah.
So beautiful. Is Connecticut's automotive history almost forgotten except to those who really know about it?
Yes, it has. There were quite a few companies that were in the area, and a lot of them assembled cars in the state and sold them more worldwide.
Like the Locomobile. I mean, that's one that
Yeah, that was
always
a very
sparks conversation.
yeah, that was really a luxury vehicle that they said it was the finest car in the world, and one of its early successes was where it raced out on Long Island, and they did very well with that. So they built that into a luxury car. It was very well thought of.
And Long Island, once a haven for racing. I mean, you had was it
Bridgehampton.
Hampton,
Bridgehampton.
yeah.
Bridgehampton.
Bridgehampton.
Now a golf course.
Yep. I mean, this area was such a hotbed of industry and of racing.
In the mid-teens, 19 teens, there were 200 plus car manufacturers in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Now, can people still register to exhibit their cars, or is that deadline passed?
That's all passed. The show cars, the 12, 13 we've got on show, are invitation only. Each of our
Okay.
shows will have a special exhibit featuring some aspect of automotive history. So all the cars that appear on the exhibit will demonstrate that piece of history. This time it was designed, manufactured, or raced by Connecticut owners. Next time, we don't know what it is yet, but next time it will be something that features
A theme.
some
Yeah,
aspect of the
some
theme. The
Sports
rest of the
cars
cars,
of the 50s or some aspect of the
wooden
of the hobby.
cars that are still wooden bodied.
Right.
Ooh.
There's only one.
Yeah,
that I
let
know
us
of,
know if
but-
you need help thinking these up. I think
Thinking
Don
of
and I might
themes here.
have some ideas for you. Any charge for admission on Sunday?
No charge for admission,
No.
and if you bring your car, there's no charge to bring your car and show it off.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
now, so
everybody
now we
wants
have cars, caffeine, and free. We're hitting the trifecta.
Pretty
wrong
much a
with this picture?
trifecta there. huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody wants to see my 2012 Focus.
Probably not.
No, I've tended it out. What are the cars you're most excited to see on Sunday?
Well, we'd like to see owners bring out their pre-1948 cars, and particularly classic cars, because a lot of times people don't get to see these cars except in a show environment, and it's nice to see them on the street, and people can walk up and take a look and talk to the owners and find out about the particular histories of the cars.
How did you guys get so into cars, particularly the top end stuff that we're going to see on Sunday?
Well, I guess it all started when I was a kid, and then we also had the Fairfield County Concourse that was at the Hunt Club and in Westport for 9 years. So we've got to know a lot of the owners in the area, and a lot of people think that collecting cars and hot rods and special interest cars is kind of West Coast centric, but a lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of nice collections and a lot of nice cars out here on the East Coast that we knew that were there, and we just like to get them out and let people see them.
And that's true. There are a lot of nice cars on the East Coast, Frank, particularly Connecticut. There's a lot of car collections here.
A lot more than you think you know about, because they show up everywhere. I live in Reading, and there are people who bring their cars out on weekends, and you see all kinds of old cars putzing around.
A nice weekend in Connecticut, if you drive around enough, can be like a moving car show.
Right.
If you catch the right weekend. Or my favorite is when you catch the day of a car show. And you hit the road in the neighborhood about the time they're letting out, and you just
Right, just watch them all
all the
drive.
classics on the road with you, and you can.
Because they're not perfect in a park now. Now they're actually on the road, and there's a certain joy to seeing these cars still being used. Now, John, I just wanted to ask you about the. Tell us about the 356 Porsche.
356 Porsches were built from the early 50s till 1965, and there's quite a few in the area. I know,
Including your father's, right?
Excuse me.
Including your father's?
Yes, my dad had quite a few of them. He raced them back in the 50s, back in the old days where they used to drive the cars to the track, tape over the headlights, and put on a helmet and go race on airports and racetracks. And there's actually quite a few 356 Porsches in the area.
Yeah, well, because that's part of the joy of cars. It's a father-son or a father-daughter, and it's a family thing to do, to just go out and you turn some wrenches, and you get an appreciation for these things. That something mechanical and utilitarian can also be beautiful and artistic. So I just wanted to get a little comments from about the about turning wrenches on the Porsche.
And
Yeah.
Frank Taylor, you're originally from Reno, Nevada. Spent time at the Hersam Museum, and
Bill Harrow was a family friend, and our next door neighbor was his CFO, who had his 1928 Oldsmobile in the garage that he kept working on.
I look
and
at
I
some.
spent Saturdays at the museum, in the workshop.
Looks like you were originally a muscle car guy, and you've kind of migrated to the European.
Right. Mostly Pontiacs in the 60s and a Mercedes, and now a VW.
How do you make that transition from the 60s Pontiac true muscle car to the Mercedes, and now to the Wolfsburg Limited.
They're all shift cars.
There you
All
go.
manual transmission cars, the only thing I drive.
Very good. What's your favorite?
230 SL Mercedes.
It's nice driving those manual shift cars also in Connecticut traffic. Your left thigh is about 4 inches bigger than your right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why my
Because
you
you're
legs
essentially
and back are.
you're essentially doing a one-legged 200-pound press about
Right.
every 10 seconds.
So John Shuck, Frank Taylor, just remind us again the times and location for the Concours de Caffeine on Sunday.
Sunday, the 17th of May, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Westport train station, right off exit 17 of 95.
And we will be there broadcasting from the event. Come down, say hi, because I'm going to encourage you to watch our video stream, but it's totally different to see these cars in all their glory in a real live setting. This right by the Westport train station. Fairfield, the Concours de Caffeine, Sunday. Tune in to HAN Network for that. We're going to step out, take a quick break, and be right back with a look at today's Hersam Acorn newspapers. You're watching and listening to Coffee Break on HANradio.com.